Hey, what's up guys? Calvin here. Alright, so let's be honest. You suck at Rocket League. Okay, maybe not a lot, but at least a little bit. Hey, I suck sometimes too. Everybody does. But that's why you clicked on this video. You took the second most important step to improving. What's the most important step, you may ask? To like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. In this video, I'll give you the 15 most important tips to get absolutely cracked at aerials.
My friend here, Justin, he's already taken, and he's cracked at
aerials. This video will be organized by steps in the process. The first 4 steps are things you must do before even attempting to go for an aerial. Tips 5 through 11 are the steps you need to take during an aerial. Tips 12 through 15 are some of the most important general tips to help you out overall. One of the most important tips before you do anything else is to make sure that you have enough boost to aerial in the first place. You don't want to go for an aerial to realize you're now stuck floating in orbit with no boost to recover. You need to take into account the height of the ball and how much boost you have in order to determine if you should go for an aerial in the first place. Boost management is essential to make sure you will always have enough boost to go up for aerials, which I covered in a previous video if you want to check that out. Be aware of other players. For this tip, you might want to consider turning up your game sound if you haven't already. You need to make sure that you're not going for the same ball as your teammate. Double committing is one of the easiest ways to get scored on. Once you have determined that it's your turn to challenge, you need to make sure you're either going to be first to the ball or be able to challenge effectively. Otherwise, it's not worth going for the ball at all. Be confident. Don't hesitate with your aerials. When going for aerials, you either commit or don't commit at all. If you hesitate, you run the risk of getting beat or being caught out in a bad position. To improve at aerials, you must have faith in your decisions. Line up with the ball. One of the worst things you can do when going up for an aerial is simply getting a bad lineup and wasting all the boost in your tank to reach the ball, when you could have simply tilted your car before going up and gotten there much quicker with less boost. Lining up with the ball is super simple. Just make sure that the nose of your car is pointed in the direction where the ball will go. Now that we've decided to go for the ball, what do we do in the air? Use the fast aerial. Look, if you're not using this mechanic already, you're missing out on a huge asset to your arsenal. The fast aerial is proven to be the fastest way to get to the ball in the air. So if you're not using it, you're going to be consistently beaten to the ball time and time again. Don't overcomplicate it. I see so many players in lower ranks trying to air roll aerial and missing 90% of the time. Yes, it looks cool, and it's fun to go for. But if you haven't mastered the basics of aerials, don't try to immediately jump trying to do a sextuple flip reset double touch into a... I don't even know. Just stop doing that. Feather your boost. See this guy? Don't be this guy. Taping down your boost to diarrhea into the air at 300 miles per hour doesn't always work. In most cases, feathering your boost will do the job, as you can keep this same acceleration with using less boost. Learn how to control your car in any position. Mastery of this means you'll be able to adjust quickly in the air if your takeoff isn't perfect. You need to be able to have an understanding of how to adjust in the air well, which takes time. Once you can master this, you'll become much more consistent with your aerials. Understand the different ways you can make contact with the ball. For example, if you want a really strong hit, you want to make contact with the nose of your car. If you want a really weak hit, you need to make contact with the underside of your car. When going up for aerials, you need to consider the strength you want to hit the ball with in order to get the best result from the aerial. Look where you want to place the ball. When making contact with the ball, you want to make sure that you're not just hitting it back to the opposing team. You need to make sure that the aerial will allow you to score, pass, clear the ball, or keep possession. Finding out where to place the ball is a great way to use aerials much more effectively, and it will help you win much more games. Recover after you've gone up for the aerial. Stop letting yourself float around in the air for 5 seconds after you go up for an aerial. This slows the play down and allows for the other team to potentially counterattack while you're just chilling in the air. If you don't have enough boost to recover after the aerial, you most likely didn't follow tip numbers 1 and 7. Look, recoveries may be even more important than the aerial itself, so make sure you follow this tip. Learn air roll and adopt air roll left or right. Now I know this sounds contradictory as I told you guys not to overcomplicate aerials. However, if you do have a basic mastery of aerials in the first place, learning to use air roll in the air is a great way to improve control and make your aerials much more efficient and stylish. Using air roll allows your aerials to be much more unpredictable, and it allows you to make more minute adjustments compared to just using your analog stick. Also, bonus tip is to start using air roll left or right. Just trust me, it's so much better than using regular air roll when going up for aerials. Get out of your comfort zone. The only way to improve is to push yourself. Now, I'm not saying to just throw yourself at every aerial attempt you see, but challenge yourself by going up for more balls. Get comfortable at placing the ball exactly where you want it. Once you have developed more consistency with basic aerials, try going for air roll aerials. You will suck at this at the beginning. I did too. But eventually, you'll see massive improvement in your aerial control. Training is your best friend. The reason it's so useful to train aerials in training is because there are no consequences if you miss. To train aerials, I recommend going into these training packs and trying to challenge yourself. Try to hit aerials that you can only hit 10% of the time. Make that number 20%, then 40%, until you can pretty much hit it every time, and then incorporate that into your gameplay. This is the most foolproof way to get better. Practice, practice, practice.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice.
Watching a YouTube video won't automatically improve your aerial abilities. Incorporate these tips into your games, and with lots of practice training these tips, you will see a dramatic increase in your rank and control. Now that you've learned these 15 tips, maybe people will stop being toxic to you. Well, now that you've learned these 15 tips, you can become a master in the air, dominating your opponents with car control and smarts. Learning these tips will allow you to see a massive improvement in your gameplay, as you will have adopted a better mindset to approaching aerials. Once you can adopt all of these tips to muscle memory, no one will be able to beat you in the air. Hey guys, if you're still here and you enjoyed this week's video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you won't miss out on another video. Thank you so much for watching. Love y'all.